So welcome to Sungrow the webinar. This is Qiao from the APAC region. Today I'm very happy to introduce our behind-the-meter C&I energy storage solution to you. Firstly, I will do some presentation, and after that we can do some Q&A. Okay. So let's start from the presentation. Okay. I just share the screen. Okay. So let's start. So today we just introduced from the presentation. Yeah. So firstly I want to introduce our JV company Sungrow-Samsung SDI. So this joint venture company is joint venture in Sungrow Power and Samsung SDI. And this JV company is founded in 2015, and so far we have done more than 700 projects globally. Yeah. And Sungrow-Samsung is world only energy storage company with all the key components, PCS and other equipment, battery system developed and manufactured by ourselves. And from the picture, we can see two buildings there. The right one is the Sungrow-Samsung SDI, and left one is the Samsung Sungrow. We know in the battery system, the batteries in our system, the battery cell is from the Samsung SDI, and the Samsung SDI give the battery to Samsung Sungrow. They integrate the cell to the battery module and provide the module to Sungrow-Samsung. Sungrow-Samsung is to integrate whole energy storage system, include the PCS, battery system, battery racks, BMS, all in one container, and provide a turnkey solution to customer. And for annual, the produced capacity is 5 gigawatts lithium-ion battery, 8 gigawatt PCS, and 6 gigawatt and 6 gigawatt an hour system integration. And the business scope of the Sungrow-Samsung is we can provide the lithium-ion battery, PCS, the EMS, and the SCADA system. We provide the turnkey solution to customer. We not only provide the container design, but also can provide the indoor design for some special project. Yeah. Here's some the information for the Samsung SDI battery. Samsung SDI uses the NCM, the lithium-ion battery, and it has a very long cycle lives for 1C charge and 1C discharge, 100% DOD. So after 6,000 cycles, the SOH can also reach the 80%. Yeah, for our batteries, it has very high energy density. For energy type battery in one container, the battery capacity can reach 5.2 megawatts an hour. And we also have the power type battery. It has a very high C rate. The highest that we can do is 2C for some frequency regulation project. Samsung SDI battery have 3-level BMS, the module BMS, rack BMS, and the system BMS. For all the BMS is monitoring all the battery cell voltage, current, and temperature, and to keep all the battery cell and racks balance. So it has very excellent the balancing. Yes, and for NCM battery has the outstanding the density compared with the lead acid and LFP battery. The NCM has the highest the energy density among these three. Yeah, I just mentioned that it has in one 40-foot container the battery capacity can reach to 5.2 megawatts an hour in one container, and include the air conditioning, firefighting system, and BMS and protection unit all in one container. And next one is about the battery degradation simulation. From the diagram, we can show that 4 curves is based on different charging rate and different discharging rate and different depths of the discharging, right? So so all the curves amount is around after 6,000 cycles, we can see the SOH is around the 80%, right? Yeah. So for the battery, it has a lower C rate and a lower discharging rate. It will bring a longer cycle lives. Yeah. Next one, I want to introduce the C&I, the energy storage solution. Firstly, I want to ask why we need the ESS for some C&I project. From the picture, we can see that this topical electricity bill. In this bill, we can see two parts we can help. Firstly is the peak energy cost, and the second one is peak demand charge. In some project, so it has very high the peak energy cost. We can just charge the battery from the off-peak time and discharge for the load in peak cost time. And some project, the demand charge cost is quite high. We can to tracking the load, and when the load is going up, the battery system will output power to reduce the peak load. And also the energy storage system can help to optimize the PV usage and do some backup power supply when the blackout happens, right? And we do some the revenue model for some special the project. So this one is we done in the Home Pro, and we put 100 kilowatt PV and 100 kilowatt and 137 kilowatt an hour energy storage. We use the AC coupling the system, both the PV and the energy storage connected to the AC bus separately. Yeah. And when we run the simulation, the curve we can get this curve. The blue one is the load curve, and the yellow one is the PV output curve, and the red one is the battery system input power curve. We can see that in one day it has three periods. We can see the first one is almost after 7 p.m. We can see in this period the battery there's no PV. Battery just discharge to support the load. And next one is here. It's in the middle of night. The battery will charge from the grid. So in the off-peak time, the low price to charge the battery. Right? And in the daytime, the PV and the battery system to support load together when the load is going up in the daytime. And here's the result we get from the revenue modeling, and we can see that is the edge cost with the PV plus ESS for 15 years is around $1,670,000. And for the energy cost without PV plus ESS for 15 years is around $2,205,000. Totally in this 15 years, it saved around $500,000. And the next one is about the Sungrow C&I energy storage solution. For Sungrow-Samsung SDI, we can not only provide the AC bus solution, but also can provide the DC coupling the system. The AC couple solution is more suitable for for retail field site, and when the site is the owner have to install some PV on site, we can. If they want to put more batteries, we can use the AC coupling system. Yeah, and for some greenfield project, we can choose the DC coupling system. It has very high efficiency and low cost. Yes, so I think the DC coupling system is a better choice for greenfield project. Sorry. Yeah. So next one is our standard solution for C&I. This one is 100 kilowatt and 343 kilowatt an hour system. We put in one 20-foot container. The length is it's less than 20 foot, and the wide is just half. So we put the PCS, the battery system, BCP, and the firefighting system all in one container. And in this system, the round trip efficiency is more than 91%. Yeah. But from these pictures, the number one is the PCS. Number two is option. The DC-DC converter is for some DC coupling system. We can choose the DC-DC converter. And number three is the BCP, the battery connection panel, because all the racks will connect to the BCP, and the BCP will output to connect to the PCS. Number four is the battery module. 5 is the switchgear, and every rack will have a switchgear. We put the rack BMS and the system BMS in the switchgear. 6 is the battery racks. Number 7 is the firefighting system. Yeah, we have some the option configurations. We can, if we choose 5 battery racks, the capacity is 343 kilowatt an hour. We also can do 4 racks to 74 kilowatt an hour, and 3 racks to 205 kilowatt an hour. Yeah, next one is about the for another big one, the turnkey solution for C&I project is 250 kilowatt and 548 kilowatt an hour solution. It's almost 2 hours solutions, and so this kind of solution is very popular in US market. The dimension is also 20 foot. The length is 20 foot, and the wide is just half of the standard solution, standard container. Right. The round trip efficiency for this solution is more than the 91% to, so it's 91%, right? And the guarantee is over 10 years. The configurations for this container is very similar with the last one, but it has more racks inside. It has 8 racks in one container. We have others turnkey solution for C&I project. We have small one. It's in the developing. It's 50 kilowatt and 100 kilowatt an hour in one cabinet, and the middle is the DC coupling solution. There's no PCS inside the container. It's just we just integrate the DC to DC converter with the battery system in one container. And the right one is another design for the 250 kilowatts and 2 hour system. It uses a 10-foot container. It's based on different sizes. We can choose a different design for customer. For our project, in the C&I project, we can do 100 self-consumption, peak energy cost reduce, and peak demand charge reduce, and backup power because it can also work in the off-grid system. For our system, it can join with the VPP and not only for greenfield sites, but also for some the retrofit site. Yeah. Our turnkey standard solution is very easy for transportation, its installation, and do maintenance. And the battery module is transport separately with the container, because the battery is a dangerous goods. It should be transported separately, and on site we just need to put the module in a rack and do the cable connection, so that will be done. Yeah. For our system, it has the flexible battery capacity configurations. So the first one, we can have 5 racks, 4 racks, and 3 racks in the container. It's based on the requirements from the customer. So this solution has minimized the footprint and for installation, and every solution is compliant with the local requirements and the safety standards. The last is about the case reference. So now, Sungrow-Samsung SDI have done more than 620 projects globally and over 6.1 GWh storage. Now, the first case is Castle Plaza Shopping Center we have done in South Australia. So this one used our 250 kilowatt, 548 kWh standard solution. So its completion date is the November last year. And this one is a lobster farm we have done in Perth, Australia. It's a microgrid project. It used a 500 kilowatt and 755 kWh system. So for this project, it's a on-grid and off-grid switch system. It's in the off-grid system, the energy storage system cooperate with the diesel generator together to build the microgrid and to support the load. Here is the Bahamas, the project use the standard solution 250 kilowatt and 548 kWh solution. And this one is the world's biggest microgrid project we have done in Tibet, China. So this project is highly system microgrid project. The altitude is over 5,000 meters. And in this project, we use the VSG technology to cooperate with the diesel generator together. The size of the project is 7 megawatt and 23.5 megawatts an hour. Next one is the Japan. The FIT project is 21 megawatts an hour. So for this project, very special. It not use the battery inverter. It use the PV inverter, the single direction inverter. It's just to sell the electricity to the grid. For this project, the power of the collection point is fixed, so the owner want to sell more electricity, so they put more solar panels on site and add some added storage system to extend the cell electricity time to 24 hours. And this one is we have done in Germany is a frequency regulation project. The size is 16 megawatt and 8 megawatt an hour. For this project, we use the Samsung the power tap battery. It can do 2C long time the discharging rate. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. So, okay.